Brandon Royval, God, when you guys can get on that train, that kid is a monster. He looked fantastic. Here's my thing with Brandon Royval in the Tatsuro fight. It was a split decision. I don't agree with that. I thought Brandon Royval, he really handled that fight. The first round, he really struggled. But after that, on the feet, he should have kept on the feet and he would have got a finish. He could have finished that cat. Boy, is he fucking good, man. Damn, is he good. Shout out to Daniel Rodriguez for getting it done. He needed that. The biggest one is in boxing. I doubt you guys watched that. I was at the Olympia when this fight was going on. I think it was the middle of the day for us. So I had to watch it this morning. Bivol versus
Better beef.
Two of the pound for pounds going at it, right? I think it's like number 3 and 4 or 4 and 5 going at it. Here's my thing, and no one's gonna, especially in the boxing world or just in the fight world in general, I don't think they give out enough draws. Like this fight should have been a draw. Like you can see how they give it a go up for me, Chin. Keep going. Beaterbev. What a tough freaking Beaterbev and Bivol. You can see how they give it to homeboy. You can make the argument for either of them. I think it should have been a draw. I think unless it's clear, those rounds, especially the early rounds, the later rounds, I can see that as argument. There's some rounds when you watch it, I've watched it twice now, they're so close. It's all, you don't want to say biased, but it's when they're that close at this level, there's nothing wrong giving around 10-10. We don't do it enough. And I think it's okay when the guys are this fucking talented, when they're this world class, for it to be a draw. If there's no clear-cut winner, a loss really screws somebody over. And the trajectory of their career really fucks people over. So I think having more draws in this world would be a good thing. Because then guaranteed rematch, and until there's a clear-cut winner, they keep fighting, dude. To see who the best of the best is. But when you just go, I guess this guy won, that's not going to work for me. And also the judges, there's no accountability. Because in boxing, it's different than MMA. They take they take like defense, like they'll score defensive guys, really good defense. As far as like ring control, it's one of the last things they score. But obviously in MMA, they score it. It's the last thing they score. But in boxing, like defense will win you some points on the card. Being aggressive will win you some points on the card. Punch landed, stuff like that. But I just feel like it's just up to the eye of the beholder, right? The powers in the judges, and it's okay to have a draw at this level. 2 world-class guys that's that close. Make it a draw. Make it a draw. Just builds for the next fight. Make it a draws are okay, man. Especially when it's this damn close. And the problem is there's no accountability for the judge. And like if you even had, we don't need the 3 judges on a panel, that'd be great. That's never happening. But if you just had a representative of like, this is how they came to the draw, or this is how they came to Biev winning, or Bivol winning, and explain it to the fans, that would help. Or this is how we scored it this round. That would help. You know, just some sort of explanation of how you came to this conclusion that this guy won when it's that close. I think that would help tremendously. I think it would also help when, you know, you can see there's a robbery. This was not a robbery. This fight's so close. Either guy could have won. But you can go back over the history of boxing, the history of MMA, and there's robberies. Wouldn't it be great if they had to answer to that? Again, not that exact judge. That would be phenomenal. I'm not that stupid. I'm stupid. But if they just had a representative for the judges go, I spoke with them. This is how they scored that 3rd round. This is how they got there. People go, that's insane, but at least we have some sort of accountability. This should have been a draw, though. So damn close. At that level, a loss is so significant. Draws should be okay. But outside that, kind of a slow weekend. You have a fight night this weekend, which is complete trash. But then you also got the PFL. Can you guys give me an over-under how many pay-per-view buys this does? So your main event is Francis versus Ferreira, right? Two monsters. Battle of the Giants. It's going down. Battle of the Giants. Awful marking on PFL's part, but whatever. Then you have Cyborg versus Pacheco, who she beat Kayla Harrison, so she's no punk. Johnny Eblen, who definitely top 2 middleweights in the world, no matter what organization is fighting. Leon Edwards' brother. That's a fun fight. And then after that, it gets dicey. Then after that, it's names you can't pronounce. But then you got McKee doing the damn thing against Hughes. That's a great fight. McKee's so damn good, too. Stotts is always fun. Breno's fun. Solid card. I mean, you can't even compare it to the UFC's fight night. Then you have Brian Callen fighting on the left there. So that's cool. That's Brian Callen if he's super hairy. That guy's older, huh?
He has the look of an older dude, but he's got to be young.
I don't think so, Chin. That guy's older. He has gray in his beard and a hairy chest. That's old man strength, dude. We're talking about Nada versus Sammy. Sammy? Slippy,
slappy, Swanson.
Slippy, sloppy, Swanson. Samsonite.
I was way off.
Right there. Way off.
Let me just see how old he is.
You guys didn't tell me. Give me your prediction. Pay-per-view buys for the PFL Battle of the Giants. So creative, by the way.
Because they're big.
They're big. They are big. I'll give them that. Battle of the Giants. Chin, pay-per-view buys?
That's pay-per-view, so like 100,000.
I'll take the under on that.
Under hundo?
Yeah. I think that 80 range.
That's fucking atrocious, Casey. I'm with Chin. I'm going to say between 100 and 110. And that would be a success for them, I think. There's not a ton of marketing. This is why I told you that Francis never fight MMA again. And I'm going to have to retract that statement because he's fighting this Saturday. I mean, I love Francis. Ferreira, biggest asset. He's just a big dude. And also, there's this narrative that he's, super wild and untechnical. Man, he's pretty athletic. He comes from the Nogueira's camp. With his losses, jiu-jitsu's kind of his Achilles heel there. He's had quite the losses, though. So it says only 3 on his record, but there's some no contest there. Like, you have one here. Original decision for his opponent, overturned after he tested positive for banned substances. Okay, who's not taking that stuff? Then he lost again. It got overturned. It was a win for his opponent, overturned after tested positive for banned substances. So that's fine, that those were overturned. But he actually has more losses than we know. He kind of hit the scene by knocking out Ryan Bader. Ryan Bader is a 205er all goddamn day. Stylistically, that was such a perfect matchup for him. Ryan Bader didn't really even try to wrestle. I don't know why with the reach advantage from Ferreira, he would even attempt to play Rock'em Sock'em Robots, and he paid for it. Francis' level of competition is so much higher. This would be like an SEC team playing a Conference USA team. If that. I mean, his strength of schedule is not even remotely close. Considering what Francis was able to do to guys like, well, not even Cyril Gahn, that one he had one leg, but, was able to do against like an Alistair Overeem, Junior Dos Santos, Cain Velasquez, a Rosenstruck. Because Rosenstruck versus Ferreira, do you think Rosenstruck would beat Ferreira? Probably. Francis mollywopped him in 20 seconds. But again, Ferreira's such a big dude. Don't be surprised if he caught him. When they're this big and heavy and athletic, shit happens. Battle of the Giants, and whenever there's giants in the name, shit can happen. So if you're better, it's not a bad idea to toss some money on Ferreira. Do I think he's going to win? Absolutely not. Could he? Of course. He's huge. Shit happens. Francis is coming off that awful loss against freaking Anthony Joshua. And you got to assume that was bad, dude. But he's always been known for a good chin, too. That's the thing. Like, no one gives Francis credit for his chin, which they should. Francis has been competing at such a high level in striking, and this Ferreira dude is just a striker, but he's wild. But think about Francis striking. You would assume it's gotten better. His defense has gotten better because he competed against Tyson Fury, went 10 rounds with the Tyson Fury. A lot of people think he won that fight. And obviously he got mollywopped against Anthony Joshua. I don't care about any of that. What I care about is Francis' defense and his footwork and his progress to get better at striking. I would assume has gotten significantly better. And he's already one of the top dogs in the division, if not the best heavyweight in the world. So you'd assume that's only gotten better at in MMA. There's been guys that just focus on boxing, it screws them over in MMA. Andre Arlovsky, BJ Penn, when they start really focusing, working with Freddie Roach at Wildcard, it caused some issues when they got into MMA. With Francis, I don't think that's the case. It's heavyweight, so it's different. He's such a power puncher. I think his defense is going to be better. Again, they're big, so shit can happen. Can Fiora land one? Of course. Is this fight going to go the distance? Absolutely not. If it does, disaster. Disaster. I don't see it get out of the first round. I think Francis absolutely walk-off KO home run.
And you mentioned off air, too, that Renan's reach is like a problem, too. And I think it's like 3 inches on Ngannou.
But the thing is, he had 3 inches on Ngannou, but like 2 inches. So when with Bader, he had such advantage. He can sit in the pocket and just pull back and not get hit and then let the counter. Can't do it with Francis. Can't do it. Can't do it. There's no way this fight goes the distance. Not a freaking chance. I can't believe it's a pay-per-view. I'll be watching it, though.
Yeah, I think the price was like 49, so it's not crazy.
Oh, okay, then I'll take the over.
You taking the over?
I thought it was
100K.
Yeah,
$50 ain't nothing.
It ain't nothing, but I mean, I'm paying 80,
79?
80 every
79,
freaking month. Yeah,
Yeah, so it's 49. 19 euros in Canada?
It should be free.
I mean, this one especially.
That pay-per-view should be $4.99. It should be free because they want to get their name out.
This one
they're
should
not
be free.
established, especially as a fucking pay-per-view model. You know how hard it is to sell people on pay-per-views? It's a disaster, dude. It should be free.
The first one, without a doubt. This one, the big one.
Yeah. France's first fight in PFL and you got to charge for it? I get it, though. France's been a pay-per-view guy for how long? And he's coming off the big boxing matches. I bet he goes 100, 115. And France is going to win that fight.